Hello and welcome, everybody. This is, of course, the Howling of Frankfort. I am Ian, your storyteller. To my right, we have...
I am Peter, playing Jackson.
I am Daniel as Guy.
Melina as Tommy.
Tori as Kira.
And we do apologize for all these delays. My hard drive died, then we got sick, and now we're here. Mark will be joining us later on. He, unfortunately, has things he has to take care of. Melina, would you like to go ahead and give us the recap?
On our last adventure, our werewolf friends, we still have Kita.
I'm alive!
She's alive. We gave her some wolf lessons as far as her transformations. And in that transformation session, we heard a calling, not like a spiritual calling or anything like that. More like police scanner? No, text message. It was like an alert, type thing. We were informed that there was a shooting at a school.
Yeah.
Near the school.
Elementary.
It was a drive-by.
No, high school.
All
Drive-by at a high school, very horrendous, and our fearless friends thought it could be nothing or it could be something. Let us find out. Take it away.
Alright, so you guys take off from the little radio tower where you guys were doing your training with Kita. You take the streets. You go downtown, take a left. You go down Washington Avenue. You go past a church that, oddly enough, houses Zumba classes. You guys have always thought that was odd.
It is odd.
Zumba for Jesus.
I dance with Jesus.
You turn right onto Mash Road, and you pull into the parking lot of the high school. From this point of view, from this vantage point, you can see all the police have already sectioned off part of the cross street from North Mash Road. It looks like the shooting took place in the old Marsh parking lot.
Is that in the high school? That parking lot?
You are parked in the high school parking lot. This is several feet over. It would be, if you're facing away from the high school, it would be to your guys' right on the cross street.
Okay.
So we have to cross the street.
Yeah.
Again.
Are there any alleys or any other side streets?
No, this is essentially the main commercial strip of Frankfurt.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no alleys. It's Mash Road, and then this road that leads out of town on one way towards Walmart, and then the other way is a bunch of restaurants.
Alright, well, what do we see while we're here?
As stated, at this vantage point, you're still pretty far away.
Oh.
All you can see is the crowd. You can see the cop cars blocking blocking passage. A cop is directing traffic away from the incident.
Right.
So you can't really see anything from this vantage point too particular. You just see a commotion.
Alrighty. Shall we?
Alright,
What are Jackson and Tommy doing?
I can go up to the cop over there who's directing people, maybe get some info.
I'll go into the crowd and see what I see.
Okay.
Right.
What about Kita and...
I'm going to step out of the car, but just kind of watch them go and just kind of watch their six, I guess.
Stay at bay.
Stay at bay, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm out of the car, just...
I'm gonna need you to babysit if you're gonna stay at bay.
Nikita, there's some
I'm actually gonna go into the crowd and start talking to everybody, see what the crowd is feeling.
Okay, so you're...
I'm staying about...
Okay, you're still staying at the car. All right.
Yeah, keep an eye on her.
She's gone now, I don't know where she went.
Yeah, I need you to try to keep
All
an eye
right.
on her.
As you go up to the police officer, you actually recognize him. He's helped you out multiple times. What was his name again? Alonzo. You see Alonzo there. He's directing traffic. He makes quick eye contact with you and nods like, of course you'd be here.
Alright, I do a quick nod, raise my hand like, hey.
He's continuing to direct people away from the incident and telling cars that they're going to have to go down North Mash.
I walk up to him, kind of friendly manner. Yeah, Alonzo, this looks pretty bad.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
Well, I mean, I guess I could use more colorful words, but...
And why are you here today, Tommy?
I got
Always getting your nose into
Well,
things?
when you and the wonderful police department sends out warnings, you know, just like the crowd around us, I kind of wave. You know, some of us are curious to see what's going on.
Unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately, a lot of this crowd isn't here because of the alert. They're here because they were actually on the scene at this time.
Whoa. Was this just an open fire? Was it gang related, maybe?
We aren't sure yet. We don't know what's going on. We're getting descriptions from the people around here.
Of course.
I don't have any particular knowledge on that right at this time. And obviously, even if I did, I know we're close, but...
Yeah, I know. You gotta keep citizens safe. I get it. Alright. So, no description. Obviously, he's still on the loose then.
Yes, at this time, we're not even sure what direction he went out.
Okay.
Jackson,
Yeah.
what are you doing at this time?
I'm going into the crowd.
Yes, I remember
Push
that.
my way to the front, and I'm going to look at the scene if I can.
Are you gonna, like, just try to move through the crowd? Or are
Yeah, I'm
you
not going to be like shoving people out of the way.
Okay.
No, I'm going to move through as best I can. Minimal casualties.
Without making any alarming scene.
Excuse me, coming through.
No, yeah, I'm working my way through as smoothly as I can.
Alright, could you give me a dexterity check plus...
Trip.
No, I'm gonna ask for... Socialize.
Socialize?
Because you're trying to be polite about it.
Okay.
It's a social thing.
So Dex, socialize, that's 4 dice. I have 2 successes.
Alright. People aren't really... They want to see what's going on, but they're not so enraptured by what's going on that they're going to form a wall in front of you. So you're able to just kind of move through people, you know. Occasionally you have to put a hand on somebody's shoulder, and then they step aside.
Yep.
As you get there, you can see the paramedics are already on the scene.
Okay.
There's body bags. You can't see anything other than the body bags. You do see some blood on the ground. It is, of course, sectioned off with your usual, do not cross.
The yellow tape.
Yes, the yellow tape.
How many body bags? Curiosity.
You see 3.
3. Okay.
They look to be about adult size, but obviously you don't know anything else. You're just going to stay at the car, so... Kita, you said you were also going into the crowd.
You're going into the crowd asking people around, like, what's going on, what happened. Really trying to feel what the crowd is talking about.
Yeah, you can... Are you talking to anybody specifically, or are you just more listening to the general conversations around you?
More of listening to general conversations, maybe just, like...
Okay.
Maybe something.
You can hear a lot of murmuring. If you would, roll me a perception check to be able to hear more concrete things.
Perception? As a person, I guess.
Yes, as Hisil.
As a human.
Human.
And you said, this is right. Okay. What is that?
That's plus your perception skill, please.
7, 8, 9, 10. 10?
Okay. Alright. You hear vague conversations about how most of these people were they're not onlookers. They didn't come here because of the alert. They were here when it actually happened. A lot of them were at the restaurants across the street. Some of them were in cars that have now pulled over to the side. They saw a vehicle. Of course, eyewitness accounts are vague. Some people say it was an SUV. Some people say it was a sports car. Some people say it was red. Some people say it was black. Eyewitnesses are very, especially when panic is involved, eyewitnesses are very unreliable.
That's true.
So you hear a bunch of different descriptions. You hear some people saying, oh, it was definitely the gangs. They did this. This was gang related. And other people were like, this was a tragic accident. You're not hearing any... you're hearing what you would honestly expect.
Yeah. I was hoping someone particular was in the crowd.
I mean, who exactly would you be looking for in the crowd? You are new to the city, so...
Maybe recognize the voices that tried to hunt me down from last night.
Okay, roll me another perception check for that, please.
Yes. What perception actually be the total of perception skill?
I roll one of these. Yeah.
Like, instead
This
of...
has all the numbers.
Instead
2,
of
7,
adding
8, 9.
the 6 to that one, the 6 dice?
I thought it would be.
Okay, we'll go with
So
that. For...
don't roll.
No, it's fine. With the 2... You don't hear any voice you specifically recognize. Not with that. Tommy.
Are there any survivors? Are the paramedics talking to any survivors?
No.
There's no survivors.
No.
Everybody.
There were only 3. It was in the parking lot, so luckily there were no... Well, to the best of our knowledge, there weren't any casualties.
Okay.
You know, outside of the 3 presumed targets.
Okay. So I start kind of walking aside.
He kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and he goes, I know you tend to like to stick your nose where it really doesn't belong. I'm gonna respectfully ask you, because I know you're not gonna listen if I tell you not to do it. Be careful. And I would give you my card, but I'm pretty sure you already have a stack of those.
I do, actually, and then I pull it out.
He kind of grabs the bridge of his nose and shakes his head.
Alright. I'll be careful. I know you're saying that out of care. I kind of start looking, not looking around like too obvious, but do I see any tracks, like where the car skidded off?
Yes, you do see some tracks are on the cross street of Mash Road. Unfortunate. What's your drive skill?
My drive is 3.
Go ahead, roll me intelligence plus drive.
2 oh, that's drive.
So 5?
Yeah, 5.
Okay. Yeah, and while she's doing that, is Guy still just staying at the car?
No, I'm starting to see, like, is there anything that's, from what I can see, kind of standing out about the crowd, or is there kind of someone else look like they're kind of watching the crowd as well?
No, you don't see
general.
No, it's just you can see that the crowd is very nervous, almost like the back of your brain goes. It's almost like sheep that know a wolf is around.
Oh, okay.
That little bit, that little part of you knows this feeling.
Okay.
It gets you a little excited though.
Oh. Something's nearby.
Oh.
It gets you excited because your brain's like, are they gonna run? They're gonna run. Which one's gonna run first? Which one's gonna break from the group?
Watching the chase, you forget.
Stop running.
I'm just gonna chase it.
How many successes?
1.
1 success.
Is that good?
You look at it and you can kind of tell that the tread marks are going away from the Walmart. So they're going back towards town
Okay. So
rather than out of town.
I kind of just mutter, okay, so they're heading back to our territory.
More or less.
Are there any spirits in Twilight around here?
No, there are no spirits in the Twilight.
Okay.
You don't see anything.
Alright. Then I'm going to push my senses, all of them, into the shadow side. And
What is the roll for that again?
roll
middle of a-
is-
That's what I'm thinking.
Go in that alleyway so people will think you're a
is
homeless
the
dude.
roll.
Because I know you.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody's gonna run.
Because this
I
is
see his face and I need him.
the gauntlet is extremely thick here, so it
Yeah.
will be difficult for you. How about just roll me your?
The perception rolls suffer a penalty determined by the gauntlet's strength.
Okay, so
So it would be a normal perception roll
okay, that's
minus the gauntlet's strength.
fine. Which is 3.
Okay. So perception.
It's on the back page.
It is. Oh, I remember it was 6.
Is he going to the upside down?
6
No, he's pushing his vision through.
6 minus 3.
Yes,
I was
so
about
3
to say,
dice.
does my
3
character
dice.
see this? If not, I'm going to push
That's
him.
a 10. 1 success.
Okay, that's enough to. You're just pushing your vision through, or all senses.
All.
Okay, all senses. All right, as you push your senses through, you can normally you would know that the twilight, or not the twilight, the shadow is usually a reflection of the flesh world. However, because of the thickness of the gauntlet in the town, because it is a barren, it does not actually reflect the flesh world very well.
Okay.
It's as if you were looking through the flesh world through a very thick and distorted mirror.
Ah.
Very thick. You see webs as well, which makes your blood boil.
Why?
You know,
I know why, but.
you know that this is the work of Azul, the webbing. However, this is not uncommon. It's part of the reason why the gauntlet is so thick here. It is a problem in the town that you guys have been working to cull for a while. Unfortunately, it is a very big problem here. As you look out over where the body bags would be, you see essence. A lot more essence than this area has seen in a very, very long time. You can tell that it is resonant to panic.
Okay.
Violence, murder, death. However, landing amongst this essence and kind of looking around is what appears to be a red and orange peacock.
Oh.
Taller than a human. Its wing feathers are blades, as if its wings were made of countless swords. Its tail feathers are chains with gigantic fireballs at the end of them, as if a morning star was set on fire.
Awesome.
I want it.
I want it.
It is kind of walking around looking. You can tell it looks irritated at the situation, like, how dare this happen? You know that this is a warrior hellion and is probably not the cause of what's going on.
Right.
It just happens to be in the area and is looking at all this essence like it's worthless. It's not something it desires.
Right. Well, I don't want to tangle with that. Not if it's a hellion.
He's already angry, like, what the derp is all this, man?
Well,
Irritated.
he's probably irritated because he can't.
Are you actually talking?
No.
Out of game.
Out of
Out
out
of
of
game.
game. So, I guess I won't. So that's what I see. There's no spirit trail?
Not really, no. I mean, the area is more or less flooded with essence at this time, but there's nothing eating the essence. And the area is just kind of so flooded with essence that obviously it still trails off after a while, but it's kind of just a giant circle.
People are
Okay.
tripping.
So it's just a pool of essence that nobody can have, basically.
That will...
What happens to essence?
It makes the area resonate with that type.
Okay.
But the gauntlet is very thick here, so it would take a while for that to happen, but it's still something that you might need to clear out.
How would we go about clearing that out? Out of game, because I don't know. Okay.
What are you doing? You went towards the crowd, right, Tommy?
Yeah, I was seeing where the tracks could be leading.
Yeah, and they're leading back into town.
And I see Tommy, so I just start following her.
Alright,
Kita joins up with you on your right. She kind of gives you a little start because you were focused on the tires at the time.
Hey!
Hey, so I think...
So scared.
Yeah. I think it's heading back to town. We should probably get Jack. Where's Jack?
You can see... Yeah, you have to look around a little bit, and you do see Jack at the head.
Where is that tall bastard?
He kind of has a glazed look on his face. You know that he's pushed his senses into the...
I kind of shake my head, like, why would you... You have the weirdest look.
Tommy, what's wrong with your brother? He looks high.
Yeah, he kind of is. Okay. So I walk towards him.
Okay.
You feel a tap on your shoulder.
Would I feel a tap on my shoulder?
Are you pushing your sense of touch into there? I don't...
The rules say all, or if it's partial, then I have to take a penalty.
He's a limp noodle that can't feel anything.
Is he able to stand?
I would think you would feel enough jostling.
Okay, fair enough.
You would...
If she's pulling me, I would know that I'm moving away.
Yeah.
Like, shaking his shoulder.
I will come back.
How many times do I have to tell you, when you do that, you look weird?
Hey.
Is your brother okay? Oh, a random person asks.
Oh, he's fine. He has his episodes. I just gotta take him home. But thank you so much.
I took my medication.
Yeah. Funny. And then I kind of nudge him towards the car.
You can see... You see them start heading back to the car, much at Tommy's urging, kind of with a hand straight on Jackson's back, pushing him forward.
Slight claw, just like, ugh.
Ow!
I'm just in the back laughing as I'm walking. Oh, man.
As they approach the car, do you say anything to them?
Alright.
So, what did you do to irritate, your sister over here?
I don't know. I had a funny
So
look
you're
on my
kind
face.
of pushing you over here, like, okay.
In the car,
You did
I'm
something
driving
dumb.
this time.
Yes, you drive. You're a better driver than me. Why do you...
Yeah, well.
Well, what did you do? What did you say, man? I'm just here.
Guy, he looked high.
I peeked into the shadow.
Oh, okay.
He did
In the
his
middle.
voodoo thing.
Yes.
In the middle of the crowd, because I saw you didn't even step into the side or lean against the fence. You just kind of push your way to the front.
I
and then...
wanted to get as close as I could so it'd be easier to see.
Yeah, he went that's already then.
I see.
Alright, so I start the car and I start heading towards where I think the...
Yeah, you're obviously going to have to go around.
Where are we going now?
So
Did you
I
see
saw where the tracks, the car tracks, kind of left a mark. So I'm just gonna follow it, see if maybe we can catch up to where their next destination is.
Cool.
And while we're driving, I'll be explaining what I was looking at.
Alright.
So I pushed my senses into the spirit so I could see what's around. It is flooded with panic essence, but there's nothing eating it. I did see a hellion. It looked irritated, but I really doubt he was the cause.
You hear him say the word hellion, and it doesn't ring any bells.
What's that, dude?
A hellion is a kind of spirit. We have a long history with the hellions, werewolves. They're not exactly on our side, but they're not exactly against us. They're very irritated with us because of past mistakes.
What'd you do to tick him off?
We killed Father Wolf.
I didn't kill anybody.
It's ancestors thing. Sins of the father.
So
whatever.
History.
History lesson. Yes.
They're upset with our history as we are upset with other people's history. So.
Okay, so he just
So
if he sees us, even though I had no.
He wouldn't necessarily be like out to get us, but he wouldn't be very friendly.
Okay. So as long as we just don't talk to each other, we're cool, right?
If we go our separate ways, it's fine.
Okay.
Stay out of his way.
Yeah, he did the smart thing of not pissing it off.
I know not to piss off a hellion, thank you.
Alright.
Alright, you've merged back onto the street where you had saw the tire tracks, but it was just a short skid mark, obviously, where they had stopped and then gunned their car back in. So you're kind of just driving down the street at this point. You drive past the Speedway, past the what used to be the Long John Silver's on your left, and you're kind of just driving down that street. At this time, you don't really have any idea. And that's where your phones go off again.
Can someone check that? I'm driving.
What does it say? I look at my phone.
It states that there was another drive-by shooting. This time it was on the other side of town. It gives pretty much the exact same description as the other one did.
Did it describe the car? It just said what happened in the general area.
It describes the car as the same way it did the first time.
Okay.
So it is the same car.
To the best of your guys' knowledge and to the best of the knowledge of whoever called the police.
Okay.
You do realize that you now have a head start on the police, so you might be able to get there before they're interfering with anything.
Before they start touching the evidence.
So are you heading... You know the place is called Circle Park. Is that where you're going to be heading?
Yes.
Okay, so she starts heading in that direction. Alright. It takes you maybe 6 or 7 minutes to get there. Kita?
I just surely want to go Urshel, and mainly specifically enhance
In the
my-
car?
Yeah. Enhance my eyes, so I can just see things.
Don't do that in the
Urshel's the horse-sized wolf.
Oh!
That's the good one.
Dalu.
Dalu.
Dalu senses are the same as a human's, pretty much.
Okay, I wanted to
Their
just
perception is a little higher.
A little.
A little higher.
Yeah.
Fine, forget it. I'm not gonna do a horse walk.
Let's find him.
I'm sorry. I had another. I thought I could specifically enhance something. Never mind. I'm glad I would have broke the car.
Yeah. That's why I was like, wait. You're going...
Are you
Urshel?
sure about that?
I mean, I can't realistically stop you, but...
Do it.
you guys pull up. You guys, you end up going kind of by your headquarters. And then you turn left onto Kiger Street, the street parallel towards West Palmer. Kind of doubling back, going... So, here's your house, you're going that way.
Okay.
As you go down that street, you come to Circle Park, and that's where you see it. It is a residential area. Tommy kind of pulls off to the side and parks. It is a residential area that splits off. The street splits off into a circle. The park is what's in the center.
Okay.
Hence why it's called Circle Park. It's a little tiny circle. Houses all around the sides.
It sounds cute, like Brooklyn.
And then you see the bodies.
Never mind.
Unlike the last bodies, these bodies are not covered by body bags because you've beaten the cops here. They are children.
Mm.
You can see countless people standing outside their houses, hands over their mouths, tears weeping. You see a couple people that have fallen to the ground. Those people are by far the most upset. You can probably tell that was
Parents.
yeah.
Dang.
So what are Guy and Kita going to do? Tommy has pulled off and parked the car on the street before the street splits off into two to go around the park.
Okay, I'm gonna get out the car.
Okay.
But I'm gonna just stay on the sidewalk, near the houses and the perimeter, just to see and hear anything.
You hear sobbing, just massive amounts of sobbing at this time.
I'm just gonna make a circle around the Circle Park. That's all I'm really gonna do.
Okay.
I'm going to do what I did before and just kind of keep watch. Just because of how quick things happened. I don't know if they're still nearby or maybe I'll see a getaway car or see some kind of
You don't...
action going on that's not...
Yeah. Okay,
sadness, I guess.
what about Tommy and Jack?
I'll get out of the car. I'll try and do a similar thing as last time. I'm going to start with checking the twilight really quick, see if there's any spirits around.
No spirits in the twilight still.
Alright.
Which is not uncommon.
Not uncommon. I figured, but I figured I'd try. Where's a good place for me to to look?
In the car.
Stay in the car.
Stay in the
Do you want me to stay in the car?
I mean, do you need to be?
It's better. It's like, looking. It's better to be close.
Alright, is there
Especially with this gauntlet, it's like looking through
True.
glasses. It's not your prescription.
Are there trees around?
No, it is very residential. It is literally just lines of houses around this circle, around this little circle of a park.
Okay.
And then the park itself, which is just some monkey bars, a swing set. It's a play park. It's not like a nature park.
Yeah, no matter what, you're gonna look creepy anyway. Just staring off into a...
You want to lead me like a blind man?
Sure.
As you're wandering around, you still see tire marks. Once again, probably the same situation as last time, you can assume.
Yeah.
Would you like to try and, like Tommy, see what direction they're going?
Yeah, I want to see
That
anything.
That would be your intelligence plus drive. I'm assuming, with your character being 15 years old, you don't have a lot of drive.
Hey.
Meanwhile, I guide Jack out as if he was a blind man.
And I'm pushing my senses into the spirit.
Alright, it is thinner here.
Okay.
The gauntlet is thinner, so it's only going to be a 2 penalty.
Alright, so that's 4 dice.
You say intelligence plus drive, right?
Yeah.
So 2.
That's 1 success.
1,
I got a 9. Sorry.
5.
You roll 3 die.
Oh, I rolled 3.
Yeah.
I have 1 success.
You have 1 success. Okay. You have 1 success as well. Okay. You're, unlike Tommy, you don't have as much experience with driving, so you're not really sure. You can tell it was a car that squealed its wheels.
Yeah.
To try, it was probably braked or had its brakes on and then took off real fast. You can't really tell the direction from your knowledge, though. You said you had
1 success.
just 1 success?
Just 1.
Well, that's still for this area. That's still enough to be able to push your senses through.
Right.
I'm gonna walk back to Tommy and them and tell them I found tire tracks.
Okay.
Alright, Jack's just gonna do his voodoo thing.
He's gonna get high again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay with him. Where did you see the tracks?
Back the way I came, towards the end.
Right.
Where you guys had parked the car.
I'm having... Okay, I'm gonna go check them out real quick. I just need you to stay with Jack, so if anybody asks, he's blind.
Is he gonna have a seizure or
Blind.
something?
He's gonna be fine. Just...
I just eyeball him warily, like, okay.
He'll be fine! I start walking off.
Okay.
I'm stuck with a crazy man.
Yes.
There's not so many spider webs in this area.
Okay.
Of the shadow.
As Lou has less of a presence here.
Well, it's also very much closer to your guys' den. It's a very similar situation. Except for there's even more essence. The essence is so thick here. And while back in the other place it was all death, murder, violence, and panic, there's also a lot of sadness here. A lot more. But you can see a spirit kind of moving lethargically through the essence, eating the panic, specifically the panic variety.
Okay.
Absorbing it into itself, which looks... The essence is kind of grayish, cloudy looking to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of just swirls into its body. It's a charcoal mist that's vaguely humanoid in appearance, but like a human that hasn't eaten in years. It's emaciated. Pale yellow streaks go through it every now and again, as if it's just part of the circulating mist of its body. It kind of looks up and looks around, and where humans would have eyes, it just has globs of that pale yellow mist in its head.
Neat.
And you can see it reach down and absorb a little bit of the essence. Reach down with its other hand, absorb a little bit more.
Okay.
It is very slow moving as the light of Helios above, weighs everything down. But you can tell it's nervous. Almost like it's panic itself. And it's just eating the essence here and there.
Alrighty then. Well,
Like these.
what?
She drew it.
Oh, she drew it.
I
Okay.
drew it.
I think I found the culprit.
Does he say that?
No,
Yeah.
I'm just mentally. I think I found the
Oh,
culprit.
but
Okay.
if I hear
Sorry.
that, that's gonna be freaky.
So I shall come back to myself. A whoosh.
You find the tire marks that she had told you about. Go ahead and give me a drive plus intelligence.
Hey Jack, are you okay now?
I'm good.
Okay.
Just checking the area.
1 success. With your years of experience driving, 2 years of experience driving, you are able to discern more clearly. It looks like that they went away from where you guys had parked, around the circle, and then out. There's no other connecting streets. The street just splits and recombines and goes off the opposite direction. Unfortunately, that's towards an elementary school, Suncrest specifically.
Right. My eyes widen because I just connected the dots, and I run over to Jack and Kita, and you guys obviously see my
Yeah.
my look. Get in the car now.
Where's Guy?
And we're going.
He's been in the car.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's at the
Yeah.
car.
I'm just watching.
So we'll power walk back to the car.
And
You see them hurriedly running.
Okay, I'm gonna start the car and get in, but not drive, just so they can get in and go. Because
Okay.
it must be something serious because they all have that look on their face.
She has that look.
What?
Oh. She has.
in the car.
So
You're gonna book it.
yeah, so I
As
start
fast
the
as you
car. I'm driving really fast.
Go ahead and give me a drive check. Dexterity plus drive.
I'm gonna do a drive check.
So drive 3 plus my dex.
Yeah. So you're gonna go over curbs and stuff too.
So, where are we going, Tommy? Like, get a
2 successes.
look on your face.
2 successes.
And you drive it fast.
You cut through a couple of people's yards to try and make better time.
I buckle my seatbelt. So,
It's not a very long drive. You get there just to see the car that was in the description kind of bottom out as it goes over the ditch to get back up onto the street off the back side of the school and book it towards the direction of Lafayette. So they're leaving town.
There's a car. What are we gonna do? We're gonna follow it?
Well, we're chasing it.
Do
So
you want to call the police?
no. I highly doubt the police is even on his trail.
Can I go around and follow him?
You're in the car.
In
Can I get out the car and go around?
You're not gonna get out of the car.
I wanna get
I
out
am
the
driving.
I'll hop out the window.
Wolves cannot go 60 miles per hour or higher. So you're going to give chase.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm going to need another drive. Dexterity check.
Oh man. Let's hope.
As the wolf in your brain goes, finally, some fun.
Kinda like
They're running.
1, 2, 3.
4.
Reroll the 2 10s. That's 5. That's an exceptional success. You find a little bit of an uneven part in the parking lot. And you gun it. And you actually hit it at just the right angle to kind of just soar over the ditch.
Tommy, you're awesome!
And you're already cranking the wheel as you're in the air. And as soon as the car hits, you're able to straighten it back out onto the road and start gunning it after the person. So this is going to be a chase. It's going to be athletics plus your drive versus this guy's.
What's that?
He doesn't really have a head start on you at this point.
So just athletics and just.
Or sorry, I meant dexterity and drive. My bad.
Drive.
Not athletics. He doesn't have as many dice as you. Three successes.
That's true. I thought that was mine.
Yeah, she got 3 successes. He didn't get any successes. So you've already pulled up next to him. Unfortunately, pulling up next to him means that generally these streets are only two-way. So
Smash his car!
So you're driving on the opposite side. So you would be driving into incoming traffic if you don't do something.
So I want to speed up and try to just be in front of him.
With the amount of successes you got, you're able to cut in front of him, no problems. No questions asked.
Alright, guys, I'm gonna do something kind of stupid. Brace yourself.
Tommy?
And I hit the brake.
I'm glad I put on my.
He's gonna.
I don't have my seatbelt!
Don't say that.
Don't say that. Why are you saying
Bye.
this?
Well, you wanted to get out of the car, so it's a good way to get out.
Oh, God.
Alright.
Okay.
1 success. That's not enough. Okay, that's not enough for him. His car just slams into yours. Everybody's gonna take some damage here.
Can I turn as, if I'm in mid-air in the car, can I turn to protect myself? Can I go Erhan at least to protect myself?
No.
If me changing.
Everybody's gonna take
We're all
at
gonna
least
take
3
damage.
points of lethal damage here.
Lethal.
Lethal?
Yes,
Are you
lethal.
sure?
Oh, come on, at least like a bruise or concussion. That can't be that bad.
It's lethal damage.
We were driving pretty because he was booking it, right?
Yeah, he was booking it. This
How-
collision happened at probably around 50, 60 miles per hour.
Oh, shit.
And then
This is lethal damage.
Well, I would argue we didn't stop on a dime, so we were probably still doing.
She said she slammed on the brakes.
You
Yeah.
still stop.
Yeah, you don't.
instantly,
You don't stop instantly. You still go forward,
Yeah,
and then they'll catch up.
Like you skid for it and they still ram us.
Yeah.
The way
Okay.
it was pictured,
Okay.
she cuts in front and slams on the brakes,
Mm-hmm.
which means that she's already kind of slowing down to get in front.
Speed up.
Speeding.
And then, no, because she was all,
She sped up to get in front, pulled to the side, and then slammed on the brakes.
yeah. So they didn't have time to adjust their speed.
Okay.
That was what their role was, to see if they could react in time.
Fair enough. I
And
would
they-
still think we'd be doing 40 at that point, though. But I'll go with what you're saying.
So,
It's the X.
where's that at?
So,
The first page?
yeah. So, right here.
So you guys all take 3
X's
points of
on
lethal
the bottom of the
damage.
box.
Can I?
Unfortunately, that is not the end of this.
Oh,
Hey.
okay. I was gonna do something, but
The driver of the car,
His car.
yes, goes through the windshield and ends up on the back of your car.
What was that for?
Oh, God.
Could have slowed down.
Luckily, even though you weren't wearing your seatbelt, you kind of just ended up folded over the center console.
I'm upside down.
Your head did crack really hard down on the console, and there's a little bit of blood.
I probably.
Yeah, your head went into the steering wheel.
No airbags?
No, I have a really crappy car.
Oh.
Your head kind of ricocheted back and forth against the driver's side seat, and
Whiplash.
Yeah. At least I'm.
you kind of went at an angle and you hit the.
can I use tactical shifting to shift up and reduce the damage?
Guess what I just
Go
did?
ahead. It's a reflex.
That is not
Okay,
fair.
I'm gonna do that.
No.
Trying to see how much it reduces it by. I need to go to the.
You're going Dalu, I'm assuming,
Oh yeah.
and what? You're like bracing.
Basically.
I said brace yourself.
Yeah.
So that would give him enough time to.
Yeah, especially
I need to
because he
put it
has to do this as a reflexive action. Go ahead and just reduce the damage by 1.
back. Okay.
So,
2 lethal?
Yeah, 2 lethal.
Damn it.
Alright, so...
Oh, sometimes I wonder why. Oh,
Tommy, I heard a second bump.
It is 1 point of passion.
You could have did a little pick maneuver or whatever and stopped him, and then we would be okay. And we still have a car that could.
Yeah, or we
Drive.
could have gotten hit by oncoming traffic.
That's why you swerved his back
Not
to
the
that
time, bro.
I kept the side door open and
Okay,
get
but there's a
out.
guy on the car now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open the door.
The back
get
door is a
out.
little hard to open because most of the damage is to the back end of the car.
Is the window cracked open? I mean, broke off.
You're able to get out.
Okay.
It took a little bit more force than it should have to get out.
I roll out on a car and sit on the asphalt, just holding my head.
Alright.
Cool, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna check out the guy and see as far as what's up with him.
Are you Are you just looking at him, or are you using your medical training?
Yeah, I'm gonna use medical just to see is he dead? Is he alive?
Intelligence
Real
plus
quick.
medical, please.
Is it only one
Medicine?
person? Is it only one person in the other car?
Yes.
Okay.
4, 5.
Which might explain why he had to stop instead of just constantly being able to drive through.
Ah.
What are you doing at this time?
Me?
Yeah.
I was in the back seat, right?
You were backseat with me, and I.
No, you would be front seat because
I was
you
in front
always,
seat. Okay.
you always ride shotgun with Tom.
Okay, so I was in the front seat.
Yep.
So it
Yeah,
didn't
3.
land on me.
All right, 3. You very quickly you move your hands to the carotid artery. He's dead.
What does
Oh,
he look like?
okay, so.
Middle-aged man. Hard to tell many features. Glasses all in his face, so it's kind of hard to see features. But his hair's dark brown with a little bit of gray in it, so middle age.
Okay, I get up and I start searching his car while still holding my head because I'm bleeding. I'm just going rummaging through his car to see what I can find.
You find the murder weapon. It's your good old-fashioned AK-47 assault
Jeez.
rifle.
No, that's why I had to stop.
Driving.
That too.
Did he have a spirit attached to him? If I search in the twilight.
You don't see anything in the twilight.
Okay.
If there was a spirit involved, then it was only urgent.
Okay. I thought it might still be near.
Is there people around?
No, right now there's nobody traveling on this road. Usually it's very limited traffic.
Okay.
It's not residential.
No,
Okay.
this is country.
Okay. Okay, that's
Cornfields
Okay.
on the right.
Hillbillies.
Well, no.
No?
No, you're not that far out of town.
Oh, okay. We're not in the boonies.
I take the keys from
It's
the front and I'm gonna open the trunk, see what's in the trunk.
He's not alive anymore, Tommy.
Don't touch
Just saying.
anything.
I'm gonna.
I already
She's
already
touching
just
things.
kinda-
Don't start touching things because we're gonna have to leave here very soon.
Are we gonna have to call the police now?
Yeah. While we're getting away, everybody back in the car.
was the trunk
Can
already
we
kind of
even drive
popped
the
open
rest
because
of
of that accident?
No, because it was the front end of his car.
His car, probably.
Tommy, can we just at least check the trunk?
No, we're not gonna check anything. We caught him
No, but
dead.
okay.
You do realize that with your training, that you did just touch his neck. So that might be a small issue. Your prints,
prints?
yeah, your prints are on the body.
And I rummaged
Oh
through
yeah,
the
I guess
car
that's
already.
true, huh?
But you're not too concerned
Does he have a
because it
beard or
is
what?
bleeding.
Okay.
Just wipe the blood.
Yeah, so you're hoping that maybe the blood will... At least that's kind of what's going through your head right now.
Okay. But I was gonna take him off the car because he's still on top of the car, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top of our
Okay.
car.
Yeah.
So I'm.
I just take off my hoodie and kind of just push him.
Oh.
My car! Ugh.
Your car...
It's
Poor
not-
girl. She's seen better days, but she's still drivable because most of that was rear end damage.
She's been through so much. Okay, Kita, back in the car. We stop the guy. And we're gonna have to call the cops. Let's go. In the car.
Okay.
Fine.
I get back in the car. I only just got out, but I go back in the car.
And I'm jump back in too from
All right.
looking at the guy.
Car's not controlling the way it should be. You also have an issue, though. You gotta go back into town, and there's blood.
Where's the car wash?
There's the car wash is unfortunately near where the first crime happened.
Ooh, wait, we're in country territory, right?
That'd be good.
Let's go find some mud and just throw it on the car, get it dirty.
Just parked in the cornfield.
How much blood is on the car?
Not enough, but it would enough to be noticed by somebody that would take a second glance.
Especially with what's going on right now.
Let's
Everybody's
dirty
gonna
it
be
up.
looking at cars.
And the fact that you have what would be pretty obvious as fresh damage to your guys' back end.
Dirty the car.
Nice little crack on that windshield.
Yeah.
Dirty the car.
I'm fine with throwing dirt on it
Yeah, let's-
for now.
Get some mud and corn and junk on it. Just
Corn
throw it.
Throw some corn on the car.
It has been a rather rough winter, so the ground is mostly frozen at this time.
Better than nothing.
But, I mean, the snow has melted. It is a fairly warm day, so there is some mud that you could probably fidget from the ground.
Yeah.
Just throw. Is there snow?
Dirty snow.
Dirty
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty snow.
fine, just-
Let's throw it on the
We're
car.
just throwing stuff on it at this point.
Just gonna pile it on, or you gonna
So
just
Jack's
wipe
throwing
it,
throwing
rub it
stuff.
off, and then put
Smear it
more.
around
Oh,
to get some
okay.
of the blood and stuff off.
As I'm like, turning on the car.
Car starts
Poor
fine.
thing.
It
Okay.
no damage to the engine block, so it turns on just fine. It's just as you start to pull away after they've dirtied it up, it's not handling the way it should be.
Yeah. Figured as much.
Put.
I'll fix that later, I guess.
Yeah.
As you guys head back into town, as you're at the stop sign, you see the cops as they make it to Circle Park.
Wow, they just barely hit him with their
These cops suck in this town.
No, I mean,
We're fast.
this all happened within a few minutes of each other. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like a considerable time has passed.
They're going to the other school, or
They're going to where
park?
the other
kids.
shooting was.
The last one.
Yeah.
We'll follow
Yeah, the time between where you found the bodies and went after him, that was only a couple of minutes.
Okay.
This was a very short chase. Her driving was
On point.
yeah.
Yeah, girl.
These guys had no chance of getting away from her driving.
Okay.
There's one guy, or
One guy.
One guy.
oh, okay.
So, what are you gonna do? Head to the house?
Yeah.
You guys turn the opposite direction of the cop cars.
Yeah.
You look over to your left and you see Miller's Body Shop, and you're just like, I'm gonna be paying you a visit.
My guy. I'm assuming since Betty here has taken a few beatings before, I have a guy.
You turn down the alleyway that leads to West Palmer Street, turn right, and then pull the car into the back of the house. You see that the hole has been patched.
Hey.
The house.
It's very clear. It's very clearly a rush job. The people that were there were in a rush to get this done. Probably weren't getting paid enough.
Sorry, guys. Again.
Hey.
The house.
Roughly patched up hole.
Check.
Betty. Okay. Next on the list.
You kind of you move the car adjacent, so where people won't be able to see it because there's a shed right behind it.
You can
Okay.
back it up. Is there a driveway?
No, there's no driveway in
Never
there.
mind. I was going to say back up into the driveway, but that won't work.
No, you kind of you use the shed, the tool shed in the back of the house as kind of a shield to hide the car.
Okay. Get
Good
out.
job.
Yay, saved the day.
Did you?
I have a feeling Alonzo is going to probably give us a call here soon.
The wolf inside your brain goes, all this pain you're feeling right now
Oh my gosh.
could be eased so easily.
I could, couldn't I?
You don't like being in pain.
I don't. It feels I don't like it. I'm gonna,
What's going on?
I'm gonna burn an essence.
Real quick, guys. In game,
Oh,
can we just track where this guy came from to see if there's any more crazy people like him?
What do you mean crazy people like him?
As
Well, if we're wolves and all, can't we just
your
track
wound
him by his
just
scent?
stitches itself very neatly, very nicely, you just feel like spearmint,
Spearmint.
a cooling breeze.
How it feels to chew 5 gum.
That's exactly how it
Just
feels like.
as the wound stitches itself and heals, and you kind of look back, you see there's not a scratch on him at this point.
How come he's not messed up? Anyways,
Mark that off.
like I was saying, can we find out where this guy came from to see if there's any more crazies like him?
Crazies are not born; they are created. So
Well,
we stopped a crime.
if we had his scent, can we track back where his house was?
For what?
See if there's any more crazies like him and why he went crazy?
If we were to do that, that's too much. Crime will always be around. You can only control what you can at the moment.
We can control if there's any more crazies from where he came from. I'm saying this because I still have the car keys.
What is
But
guy?
we don't know.
I'm hosing
We
the
don't
car
know
up.
if there's more.
I mean, I'm
You-
gonna grab the
you-
hose and start
You ran off and
while
grabbed
they're
the
doing their thing,
Okay.
just to
As you
get
guys
off,
are
wash
off,
my hands.
you guys
It's gonna
are
take
busy
too much
conversating in the car. All of a sudden, you just see splashes of water on the car, and you just see
Time to get out. We gotta get
Daniel,
off, guys.
or you see
Before it dries
Guy
up.
hosing the car down.
I'm getting out.
Once blood dries, it's hard to clean, so I'm gonna get it while it's still somewhat fresh.
Do I have
Yeah,
my
we
own
would
room?
know.
Probably not.
No, you share a room with Guy and Robert.
Well, I'm gonna just
Upstairs.
hang the
You
keys
lost
up.
your room privileges when you got through that wall.
Yeah.
I'm
The
gonna-
upstairs is kind of split into 2 rooms, so it's up to you who you share with, Guy or Robert.
I guess. Oh, Robert's never around. Wait, you're Robert.
I'm not
No.
Robert.
You're not Robert?
I'm Jack.
He's
Okay,
Jack.
yeah, you're
He's
Jack.
got
Tommy and Jack share the downstairs master bedroom.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take over Robert's room and just take the keys from the car that we instigated and just put on the wall.
Because she did take the...
I never
Yes,
said
we
I
did.
put them back.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
She took the keys.
She did.
All right.
We were not there.
We're not
We were not there.
So who wants to put in the phone call?
Phone call? Oh,
Tommy
Paris.
does.
I'm cleaning the car, so I'm doing my part.
I'm up in Robert's room. Does he have snacks?
Probably.
If he does, I'm
So you're going to call the cops.
Yeah. So I walk into the house and I'm in the living room. So I pull out one of the hundreds of cards that I have.
the hundreds of cards.
I call up Alonzo.
Officer Alonzo.
Hey Alonzo, it's Tommy.
I knew that was this number. What happened now?
You know, I could just be calling to see how you're doing, but...
That's never how these phone calls go, and you know it.
So did you see what happened on street, wherever we were on? I don't know the street name of it.
Are you referring...
What are you referring to?
Yeah.
The street where...
Yes.
She banged up the guy's car.
Yeah.
Okay. That would just be a highway.
Okay, Highway 66.
What? There was an accident?
Yeah, I heard there was a pretty bad accident. I suggest checking it out.
You heard?
I heard.
You're gonna have to give me a little bit of manipulation here. Manipulation plus persuasion?
It'd be either subterfuge if she's lying.
Yeah, subterfuge. He's right.
Which one's subterfuge?
We end
It's
the
at the
bottom.
Right. Can it be persuasion?
No.
Not if you're lying.
Okay. So, just straight?
Manipulation, subterfuge.
Oof. Guys.
Same.
Oh, we don't...
Guys. Hope
I do have to ask. You don't have a single point in...
I don't.
That's
in
minus
subterfuge.
And your
And I
manipulation...
only have a 1 in manipulation.
That's a chance die. You
Yeah.
can only succeed on a 10.
Is that how that works?
Arr. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm screwed.
Oh, that's right. -1. Okay.
You can burn a point of willpower here.
Alright, I'm
How
gonna
many
do it.
towers do you have?
Okay, so you take a point of damage to your willpower.
Try.
I mean, maybe he should
I
call.
failed.
Never mind. Don't call.
try to
Alright, so
call.
you add 3 dice
3.
to that.
I have.
So 3 to this or 4 total?
Yes.
3 manipulation, 2 subterfuge.
I'm gonna use your right one.
It agrees with you.
I'm gonna need it. Okay.
Hey, it's agreeable to you.
I got 1 success.
Reroll the 10.
Hey.
Wait, no, this was technically a chance die. There's no rerolls.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
So
one
just
success. He kind of groans, knowing you that this is probably a lie, but you seem to be honest here. So he goes, we're kind of strapped thin right now looking at these 2 different things. I will try to make some time to look at this later. But we're stretched thin right now.
Alright. I just really suggest checking it out afterward.
Alright.
Thanks.
Hangs up the phone.
Why do I have to be me sometimes? I start questioning why I do certain things.
Start
For
thinking
the
about life.
for the greater good. Is what I always tell myself. For the greater good. That's what I did. I just saved future kids. Okay.
I feel like I
Well-
should have opened the trunk.
Maybe.
Maybe.
At the you kind of rushed us off. So at the second murder site where the kids were, there was a spirit feeding on the panic essence there.
I still feel like we should have opened the trunk with the guy's car.
I mean, what did you expect to find if you were to open it?
I don't know. I was just hoping to find something interesting.
Oh.
I sit on the couch. Start rubbing my head.
So Reginald hops up into your lap to try and give you a little bit of comfort. He can tell you're stressed.
Yeah, I've had him. Okay, but cops aren't on us. A guy washed up the car. I'm gonna call up Tony and see if he can fix up the car soon. He's gonna ask me a million questions again, as he always does. What am I gonna tell him this time? I don't know. I backed up to the trash can again.
and broke your back windshield there.
Yeah, make sure there's literally no blood on that because, well, we're gonna have it fixed.
So you backed into a pole and then a kid threw a rock at the window.
All simultaneously. I know, crazy kids, right? Yeah.
I yelled downstairs, "Hey Tommy, Robert has a whole bunch of snacks. You want some? It's for, like really relaxing."
No, I don't want Robert to hate
Did
me.
you find his brownies?
I found the donuts. I didn't find the brownies.
Alright, so you guys are back at home.
Yep, home again, jiggity jig.
So you found a spirit?
Yeah, he was hanging out at where the kids were murdered.
That's fairly unusual.
Man.
Spirits aren't very common in this city because of the nature.
Did you want to check it out in the Upside Down?
Yes. I mean,
Yes.
you know we're in a barren, so seeing a new spirit, one that we haven't seen before.
That's true. Alright.
The back of your head goes, you might not want to do this during day.
We could probably wait until nighttime.
You listen to that inside voice. What is that?
His inside voice is usually
Yeah.
right. Okay. Alright.
Unfortunately, this is Sunday, though.
Sunday.
Ah, frick,
So
and I have
we
a
have
match tomorrow.
Oh, yes, school. That.
I'll
And then
stay
she has
here.
and as Tommy just said, she has a bout.
I have a match.
Well,
too.
I mean,
When real life interferes.
I could skip school.
Again?
I mean,
I'm not
they
even
don't
going to
expect
school,
much
so I'm
from me
staying home.
anyway.
We can't keep missing classes though. I mean, what is it gonna be this time? The stomach flu? For the 5th time?
I'm sickly.
Guy, what are you going to
And I start imitating like a sick person.
Oh.
Almost on cue, your phone buzzes.
Oh, my phone. Pull that out.
You see a text message. It says, "How have you been? I haven't seen you in a while. I want to make sure you're still on the wagon."
Oh,
Hmm?
We need to get together sometime. You want to grab a cup of coffee?
I'll answer that.
Do I recognize the ringtone? Does he have a special ringtone?
Should I have?
Do you?
I should, but I don't know what it should be.
There is a special
There's a
ringtone.
special ringtone, yes.
You would know this ringtone.
Go with that.
Even at this point, Guy knows the ringtone.
Yeah.
You both know it's his sponsor.
Oh, how's he doing?
Overprotective as always. So
Well, have you fallen off the wagon?
no.
I say mockingly.
Kita's kind of looking at you guys confused, like she doesn't know what's going on.
While eating the stolen donuts from Robin's room.
As she has come downstairs now.
Oh, well, little tidbit on our past.
Oh. We weren't, always yeah, clean. Some of us had issues we were dealing with that were suddenly no longer issues anymore, but sprung up new issues.
Remember how I told you how you came from a nice, healthy family?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of us didn't have that. Our wonderful mother and father were actually druggies.
Okay.
And actually thought it'd be funny to have poor Jack here get high with them and other drugs.
Other drugs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And pre-wolf us, more human us, he eventually got hooked on it.
Well, as a kid, I got
Obviously.
pretty quick.
Yeah, he got pretty hooked on it. So that's why he has his sponsor that occasionally still, reconnects with him just to see if he's okay.
Okay.
So what's the message you're gonna send him? Say.
Sure, sounds good. When, what time?
Almost immediately, like he was waiting for it. Monday after school.
Crap.
Looks like you're not sick.
I text back.
Wait, it can't be after class, because that's my match. So you're gonna go see it, right?
I text him. I was planning on being sick that day.
Wait, how do you play?
He
Why
goes.
would you tell him that?
He goes. The next text message you see is, "I'll be there in 20 minutes."
Crap.
Oh!
And at that, we are going to close this episode of the Howling of Frankfort. We hope to see you all next time. We will not be waiting as long this time to get the next episode up.
Wow.
Have a wonderful night.
Dude.
Bye.